I'm very thankful for you that I'm here. I look forward to this meeting for a long time. To the American Legion, I wrote this May 24th. I started writing 5:35 p.m. and 7:45 p.m. I finished it. And the topic is the intentions of our founding fathers, the year of our Lord, 1993. I start out with a few words from our preamble to the Constitution of the American Legion: to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States of America, to foster and perpetuate a 100% Americanism, to preserve the memories and incidents of our associations in the great wars, to combat the autocracy of both the classes and the masses, to safeguard and transmit to posterity the principles of justice, freedom, and democracy, and to make right the master of might. Our founding fathers believed in these same things. I also believe in these principles. Before serving in the United States Army, I made an oath, and it still stands. I, Louis Anthony Monaco, do solemnly swear affirm that I'll support and defend the Constitution of these United States and the state of Florida against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, so help me God. One reason I make this topic, Thomas Jefferson, our third president, eloquently explains. The key to maintaining political liberty was to institute a system of education for all. If a nation expects to be ignorant and free in a state of civilization, it expects what never was and never will be. Enlighten the people generally, and tyranny and oppression of body and mind will vanish like evil spirits at the dawn of day. We must come back to the principles and intentions our founding fathers had, and to carry their torch before it's too late. Catch the spirit of 1776. Freedom of self-government, freedom of commerce, freedom of the individual, and freedom of religion was great importance to the founding fathers. On freedom of self-government, now I want to bring up something that I have in this book on freedom of self-government on page 16 on Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson said, "Every man and everybody on earth possesses the right of self-government. They receive it with their being from the hand of nature. I have sworn upon the altar of God eternal hostility against every form of tyranny over the mind of man." That was the words of Thomas Jefferson. Our Declaration of Independence explains it all. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitles them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the cause which impels them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among them are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It goes on saying, if our government becomes destructive, it is the right of the people to abolish it. I also like to mention that I have some handouts that I put over there for you to take home, and some talk about the New World Order, and I describe some extra information that it's called sedition. They're trying to abolish our federal constitution and our Declaration of Independence. And on freedom of the individual. Jefferson believed that every man, no matter what his background, was capable of determining his moral responsibility. State a moral case to a plowman and a professor. The former will decide it all as well, and often better, because he's not led astray by artificial rules. Our nation, America, was formed by common men who were mostly farmers, some immigrants looking for a better life, and the wilderness frontiermen who carved out our roads. They were simple day-to-day people who had faith in their Maker and just wanted freedom. George Washington said, "How much more delightful the task of making improvements on the earth than all the vain glory which can be acquired for ravaging it. Let us raise the standard of our government to one to which the wise and honest can repair." on freedom of speech and religion. First, in 1607, the English colonists landed in Jamestown, Virginia, and dedicated America to God. Second, our founders were Christians, evangelical and orthodox. Their intentions for America was not to have a church state, but for America to be morally guided by the hand of divine providence. In our Declaration of Independence, and for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. For Thomas Jefferson, freedom of religion was his concern. It was a crime not to baptize a child, a crime to bring a Quaker into the States, and a crime not to contribute to the church. In 1786, the Statute of Religious Freedom became law. No man shall be compelled to frequent or support any religious worship, place or ministry whatsoever, nor shall otherwise suffer on his account of his religious belief. But all men shall be free to profess and by argument to maintain their opinions in matters of religion. On our founders' intentions is for us to rise as Americans, as decent citizens, and as legionnaires, to combat this present autocracy of the masses, to defend our Constitution, and to make right the master of might, which is the Lord, so we can preserve to posterity, which is the future of our people and our country, the principles of justice, freedom, and democracy. I believe this sums up all the law and the preamble of our American Legion Constitution. Let's get to work before we lose more freedom. No New World Order, no NAFTA. We gave our allegiance to our God and our country's Constitution to protect and preserve it. This is sedition. For God and country, Louis A. Monaco. Also, I'd like to show you that what I had to say was in line in the American Legion magazine. I'd like to show you that if you want to you can look at that. And in the American Legion magazine, it talks a lot about God and the good Lord in the front page, right over here, in the American Legion magazine. And I also want to thank everybody for letting me be here again and sending my message. Like I said, there's more stuff out there on the literatures, and there's some stuff on the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence and George Washington's, I think, Freedom of America farewell address or something. And God bless America, and amen. Thank you.
Well, like I made mention, is he had been asking us for the past 6-7 months to like to address you, so I appreciate your listening to what he had to say. Before we break down to the Auxiliary and the Post, let me make a couple little announcements here, just some general information. The first one is that everybody knows this year is the 50th.